Hello and welcome everyone to podcast episode number 26 of Christine's Blessing. I am.com. And today I want to share with you about that human experience we have all had a taste of, where you've expanded your life, you expand your life, you expand your life, you add things in, you add things in, you add things in. You're doing really good to maintain, whether it's keeping up with paying the bills or keeping up with your new workout regimen, right? Or that new job. And then something happens and life throws you a curveball. And it becomes very evident very quickly that the structures you actually have in place, that I actually have in place to live my life, are insufficient. So if you're listening to my podcast and you've gotten anywhere between, anywhere after podcast episode number 18, you know I got sick. And I was out, it took me out for 4 days. Now, what you should know is that leading up to getting sick, I had stopped doing some of the basic, fundamental aspects of my daily living that have my life work. Like when I book an appointment with the client, immediately putting the appointment into my calendar and sending the occasion to them. 2 clients this last week, I didn't do that with. I wrote it down, and then in one instance, I forgot where I wrote it down at, right? So it's those little tiny, and I touched on it briefly in the podcast episode around maintenance, right? Like that super secret power nobody really knows about. But if you have it, you've got it, right? And it was I had the discipline to do the daily maintenance and upkeep of living my life. I had stopped tending to and had started to slide, right? And there's this thing, right? And I don't want to speak about it in the world of integrity because there's just already too many preconceived notions and idea when you say that. I want to talk about it in a way of like comfortability, right? So when you get a new job and you have to drive to that job and you have to be there at a certain time and you're going in a direction that you've never gone before, what I like to do is I like to do a pre-trip or a planned trip or I'll go on Google Maps at the time that I would be driving that, right, and actually put in and see what's the traffic like, get a sense of how much time I need to give myself to get to work on time. And then the first day, I probably will give myself that amount of time plus a 30-minute window. Why? Because it's my first day. I don't want to be late. And probably for my second, third, fourth, fifth day, I'll keep doing the same thing. And then somewhere, at some point in time, there's a switch, right? And I don't know if it's a slider, right? You know how you have like dimmers where you have a little slider tool on the side of the light switch? I don't know if it's more of a dimmer or switch, but there's this comfortability conversation like, oh, I've got this handled. Oh, it'll be fine. Oh, I've got this, right? That starts to creep in. And how it plays out in life, it looks like that 90 minutes I would give myself to get to work on time gets cut down to an hour, which gets cut down to 45 minutes, right? And that's what I was starting to do for myself in my life. And even inside of this podcast and my game, 365 podcasts in 365 days, there was a level of comfortability where I said, oh, I've got this. It's handled now. I can now go on autopilot. Or I can now not do some of the things I was already doing that had it work to begin with. So I wanted to share that with you all because while it's not considered an enemy of the state, it is one of those conditions of being a human being and playing this game called life that, if not checked on a regular basis, if not maintained, all the good intentions that I have set forth in my life will be to no avail. Because I will be, and I am, my own worst enemy.